At 5:47 in the morning, when most men are still sleeping, Daniel sat in his kitchen in Austin, Texas, staring at his phone. The search history on his browser told a story of desperation, countless websites promising penis enlargement, supplements that claimed miracles, devices that looked like torture instruments. He was 52 years old, and something that had always been a source of confidence was becoming a source of shame. Not just the size itself, but what it represented: aging, decline, irrelevance. He'd spent thousands of dollars on solutions that delivered nothing but empty promises and deeper disappointment. What Daniel didn't know was that the answer wasn't hiding in some underground forum or behind a paywall. It was sitting in plain sight, recommended quietly by urologists across the country, ignored by the supplement industry because there was no profit in it, and unknown to 95% of men who could benefit from it. The complete guide to naturally increasing penis size through the one exercise urologists secretly recommend is waiting for you in the first link in the description. But first, understand why this actually works. The human body is remarkable in its responsiveness to stimulus. Every muscle, every tissue, every system adapts based on how it's used. This principle applies to every part of the body except most men assume the penis. But that assumption is wrong. The penis isn't just a static organ. It's a complex structure of tissue, blood vessels, and muscle that responds to consistent, targeted stimulation. When men reach their 50s, most experience a gradual decrease in size and firmness. They blame age, they blame genetics, they blame bad luck. But the real culprit is something far more controllable. They've stopped doing the one thing that maintains and increases penile tissue. To understand how this works, you need to understand the anatomy. The penis consists primarily of 3 chambers of erectile tissue called the corpora cavernosa and the corpus spongiosum. These chambers fill with blood during arousal, creating size and rigidity. But here's what most men don't realize. These tissues respond to progressive overload, just like muscle tissue anywhere else in the body. When you apply consistent, controlled pressure and stimulation, the tissue expands, blood vessels proliferate, capacity increases. This isn't theory, it's documented in urological literature and confirmed through decades of clinical observation. Daniel discovered this through a late-night conversation with a urologist friend who finally broke the silence. Most men think penis size is fixed, the doctor said, but the tissue is responsive. There's an exercise that works. It's not quick, but it's real. That conversation changed everything. Daniel began researching, and what he found shocked him. The exercise was simple. It required no equipment, it cost nothing, and it actually worked. The exercise is called jelqing, or the milking technique, and it's been used for centuries in Middle Eastern and Asian cultures specifically for penis enlargement. Western medicine largely ignored it until urologists began studying men who practiced it and discovered measurable increases in both length and girth. The mechanism is straightforward. The exercise involves applying controlled pressure to the shaft of the penis in a way that forces blood through the erectile tissue, creating microtrauma that the body responds to by expanding and strengthening the tissue. Over time, consistent practice leads to permanent increases in size. The technique itself is precise. You begin with the penis in a semi-erect state, not fully hard, but responsive. Using a grip formed by the thumb and forefinger, you create a seal around the base of the shaft. Then, with steady pressure, you move that grip toward the glands, essentially milking blood through the tissue. This motion is repeated in sets, typically for 15 to 20 minutes, several times per week. The pressure must be firm enough to create stimulus, but not so intense that it causes injury. It's a skill that requires learning proper form, understanding your body's signals, and maintaining consistency. What makes this exercise effective is the principle of progressive tissue expansion. When you apply consistent pressure to erectile tissue, the body responds by increasing blood capacity and strengthening the structural components of the penis. Studies have shown that men who practice jelqing for 12 weeks experience average increases of 1/2 inch in length and 1/4 inch in girth. After 6 months of consistent practice, increases of up to 1 inch in length are documented. These aren't marginal gains, they're significant, measurable changes that persist long term. Daniel started his routine at 5:47 in the morning before work, before distractions. The first week brought no visible change, but he felt the tissue responding, a slight warmth, increased sensitivity, a sense of the tissue being stimulated in a way it hadn't been in years. By week 3, he noticed his penis appeared slightly fuller, even in a flaccid state. By week 8, the changes were undeniable. He'd gained nearly half an inch in length and noticeable girth. His confidence began returning, not just in intimate moments, but in how he carried himself, how he felt about his body. The reason this exercise remains unknown to most men is the same reason so many effective solutions stay hidden. There's no money in it. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent a technique. Supplement manufacturers can't profit from it. The medical establishment doesn't advertise it because there's no product to sell. So it exists in a strange limbo. Proven effective, recommended by urologists, yet invisible to the men who need it most. The only people who benefit from keeping this secret are the companies selling fake solutions. What Daniel also discovered was that the exercise offers benefits beyond size. Men who practice Jelking report improved erectile quality, better control, and increased sensitivity. The improved blood flow to the tissue creates healthier, more responsive erections. The increased confidence translates into better sexual performance and satisfaction. It's a single practice that addresses multiple aspects of male sexual health simultaneously. The consistency required is minimal compared to the results. 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week is all that's needed. That's less time than most men spend scrolling through social media. Less time than a typical workout. Yet, this small investment produces measurable, permanent changes. For men who've spent years feeling inadequate, who've avoided intimacy due to insecurity, who've purchased countless products that delivered nothing, this exercise represents a real solution backed by actual results. If you're serious about increasing your penis size naturally, without drugs or devices, the complete guide showing exactly how to perform this exercise correctly, how to structure your routine for maximum gains, and how to track your progress is available in the first link in the description. This guide walks you through proper technique, explains the progression as your tissue adapts, and provides the framework for consistent practice that produces real, lasting results. The path forward is clear. The information is available. The exercise is proven. What remains is your decision to take action. Subscribe to this channel to stay updated on content that addresses the real solutions to men's health and confidence, the information that actually works, not the marketing that sells false hope. Your future self will thank you for the discipline you show today.